We're back with our series, The Power of Water, and this morning Ginger is in Crystal River, Florida, with a real success story for the manatees that make the river their home. Hey, Ginger.
George, it is not often I get to tell you a climate or environment story with a happy ending or a solution that's happening now, but this one has all of it. So yes, it's not just about the power of water, it's about the power of people, the agency we have in changing and helping the environment around us, the waterways and how they cleared them here for the water, yes, but also the adorable inhabitants, the manatee.
Oh, there's two.
It's a magical moment, getting a glimpse of Florida's gentle giants, the manatee. They congregate here every winter in Crystal River, which boasts bathtub-clear water just off Florida's west coast. The Crystal River is fed by more than 70 freshwater springs that I'm in right now. They stay 72 degrees year-round. That's warmer than the ocean in the winter months, so they become a critical winter habitat for more than 800 manatee. On March 12th of 1993, this critical ecosystem was wiped out by a devastating storm, dubbed the storm of the century.
It virtually killed all the vegetation. It's a lot of salt water that came in here, and the freshwater vegetation couldn't take it.
It has taken decades, fueled by community advocates and more than $40 million in funding from the state and private donations. The river has been restored to pristine conditions after removing 400 million tons of debris and other detrimental material and stabilizing the shoreline to protect the area from future monster storms. Not to mention planting a lot of manatee food. How much is a manatee eating on a daily basis?
I believe the statistic is that a manatee can eat about 10% of its body weight a day. So you got to think, if it weighs 1,200 pounds, that's 120 pounds of grass. They have quite the appetite.
To satisfy that appetite, more than 450,000 clusters of eelgrass have been planted underwater by hand, creating more than 300 acres of manatee food. I got to help plant the last batch. When seagrass or eelgrass goes in, you plant it, but then it spreads?
Absolutely. So the grass here specifically can spread 7 feet in any direction in 1 year. They sequester nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, carbon, and they can completely transform a water body that provides benefits to not only the ecosystem, but to the community through ecotourism and just healthier, cleaner water.
While Crystal River is a shining example of a habitat restoration, manatees elsewhere are threatened by speeding boats and, along Florida's east coast in the Indian River Lagoon, starvation. Excessive pollution from development, leaking septic systems, and agricultural runoff have all caused massive algal blooms, killing off the seagrass that manatees rely on. In 2021, a record-breaking 1,100 manatee deaths were recorded statewide, and another 800 in 2022. While the number of manatee deaths has decreased this year, experts say they're still at high risk.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Groups like Zoo Tampa rescuing and rehabilitating more than 300 of these lovable creatures. I got to join in and release 2 of them. Look at her go! Look at her go! Would you consider this release a success?
100%. Their story isn't over. We will continue to watch to ensure that these animals continue to stay safe and they continue to do the things that they need to thrive.
The newly released manatees will enjoy what the team likes to call manatee munchies at the Manatee Snack Bar, daily feedings until they're ready to survive on their own. Sea and Shoreline, the company that restored the manatee habitat here, is now turning to the Indian River Lagoon, an even more ambitious undertaking aiming to replicate the success they had at Crystal River.
Once you fix it, you don't want to let it go backwards. You have to make people care by showing them what it could be and what can you do to help.
Right off the front of the boat, we have a manatee mom nursing a manatee baby. It is the sweetest thing to see. But helping and being out here and being a part of the solution, it really takes over your entire body and soul because you want to make the glory of these waters and these animals have everything they could. There are a lot of ways to do that. I know that we learned some in the piece, but George, it's inspiring, that's for sure.
Boy, it sure is. That water is just crystal clear. So has there been a difference in the behavior of the manatees since the river's been cleaned up?
You know, there's been a difference in the behavior of all the animals. Come on in. This is Paul Cross, Director of Operations of Plantation at Crystal River. I know the crews we've been with said that you're seeing other fish, you're seeing other birds that haven't been here in decades coming back because it's so clean. But have you seen the manatee act differently? And then also, what can we do to help to make sure when we come down here to see them that we're good to them?
Yeah, the manatees are phenomenal here, right? So normally they come to thermal regulate. Now what we're seeing is they're staying longer and feeding. They're constantly feeding, as you've seen this morning. You know, you see the crumbles coming off of them, you know. But the word to the public, I would say, is the key is to slow the boats down, right? Manatees like to hang out in 5 to 7 foot of water. That's where we like to boat. You know, so pay attention to your signs, slow the boats down whenever you can.
Because that's really how they get hurt. And then, of course, the fertilizer, as we just learned in the piece, you know, fertilizer is one thing that we all have agency over, and that is what creates algae that then takes over their food source. So we're going to keep looking for mom and baby out here, guys.
Thank you, Ginger. Boy, that was really something, wasn't it? It was great.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.